former police officer, is reporting Derbyshire Police to the Force Watchdog. It's over its handling of the Wendy Sewell murder case, which happened in Bakewell in 1973. Retired Norfolk officer Chris Clarks managed to get a copy of the pathology report, which he says shows she was strangled with a ligature. Bakewell man Stephen Downing was jailed for this murder until his case was quashed in 2002. But Chris Clark says the police had this evidence about Wendy Sewell's death and didn't use it. So he's going to report this to Her Majesty's Inspectorate of Constabularies. Let's speak to Chris, who's on the line this morning. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning, Colin.
What does this pathology report show?
Basically, it shows, as well as the documented injuries to Wendy's head, that she had a massive bruise on her Adam's apple, further bruising to the deep muscles in the back of her neck, and her lungs and airways was congested with a classic symptom of petachine in asphyxiation.
And this evidence has only just come to light then?
Yes, I acquired a copy of the pathologist's report in early December 2013.
And this obviously will give us perhaps new clues, potentially, as to who murdered Wendy Sewell.
Yes, there was no mention of this in the pathologist's conclusion, so it was obviously withheld for some reason from the 1973 trial. So
if there is this new evidence in place, you say it's in this pathology report, why aren't Derbyshire Police looking into this further?
I cannot comment on that, Colin. That's a matter for them to comment on.
Do you think they will?
Well, so far in the last 40 years, they've not come out of the woodwork, shall we say.
Is this robust, this evidence, or is it rather flimsy, do you feel?
The evidence is very strong in the pathologist's report, which clearly shows 3 senior Derbyshire police officers were present with him at the post-mortem.
But as I mentioned in the introduction, that Derbyshire Police have been looking into this case for years and years and years. So, what do you know that they don't?
Well, I know clearly that there was an attempt to suffocate Wendy. It appears with a garrote-type ligature, as well as she was kicked, which is also in the pathologist's report.
I mean, Derbyshire Police, as I say, are saying, look, we did thoroughly reinvestigate this case in 2002. You're saying to me this morning you do not understand why the police are not continuing to investigate this case, because ultimately, Chris, whatever the rights and wrongs of the evidence, whatever you might have found or not found, ultimately, whoever killed Wendy Sewell hasn't been brought to justice.
Yes, I'm quite clear on that, and my original inquiry was pointed towards a possible crime committed by Peter Sutcliffe.
Yeah, and do you still feel that is the case? Do you feel that the Yorkshire Ripper was responsible for the murder of Wendy Sewell?
Yes, due to the frenzied nature of the attack, the method employed, the interference with the clothing, everything there suggests an aborted attempt by the Yorkshire Ripper.
Why drag this up now, Chris? Because, there will be family members who probably, quite frankly, want to let this be, and to have all this dragged up again might be distressing for them.
Well, in the pursuance of justice, the truth has to be out there. Otherwise, we do not have any confidence in any of our public servants.
Do you have any confidence in Derbyshire Police?
Again, I don't live in the county, so I can't really comment on that.
Well, you clearly don't, because you're reporting them to Her Majesty's Inspectorate of Constabularies. You're reporting Derbyshire Police to the Force Watchdog, so clearly you do have an opinion on the way that they've handled this case.
I'm reporting the facts as I see them, that the pathologist had evidence in his report that could have exonerated Stephen Downing.
So, as I say, you have reported Derbyshire Police to the Force Watchdog. What do you think will happen as a result of that? What would you like to happen?
Well, there needs to be a thorough, full outside agency investigation of the circumstances of Wendy's death, and to the handling of it.
You can understand why people listening to this programme might be feeling that you are accusing Derbyshire Police of not investigating this case thoroughly enough.
Well, all I can say is the facts speak for themselves. There are injuries sustained by Mrs. Sewell that were not brought up at the trial or subsequently.
So it needs further investigation. What would your message be to Derbyshire Police?
Really, just to come clean.
Come clean?
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
Basically, at this stage, they could actually admit mistakes were made, and let's have the full truth.
So you do believe that Derbyshire Police have made mistakes?
Yes.
Thank you for talking to us this morning. Retired police officer Chris Clark.